You're an okay dad. You feel what I'm saying?
Wow.
We had this baby out of a threesome.
It was not like a real threesome.
Okay, whatever. We had sex. You fat as good ass.
Yo.
That was not my child. It was a threesome. Lil Scrappy said exactly that when asked about a baby, and it has the entire love and hip-hop community talking. One crazy night, one child, and now a full-fledged conflict between motherhood and denial. With truth in one hand and diapers in the other, Shakira, the woman holding it down, claims to know who the father is. She is not perplexed. She is not sentimental. She's positive. She also claims that because things became difficult, tiny Scrappy is out there attempting to change history. Scrappy, however, makes it quite apparent. He's not claiming to be a kid who was born in a group setting. That night was enjoyable, careless, and hazy in his memory. But that wasn't part of his plan, sweetie. He's also reluctant to accept responsibility. Duaso, who is telling lies, who is being honest. Who is the third individual that nobody wants to discuss? For this is not merely a paternity matter. The controversy has the potential to completely upend everyone's reputation. And believe me, this drama is only beginning. Let's go back to the first night of everything. Lil Scrappy, Shakira, and an unidentified third man became entangled in what Scrappy subsequently described as just a vibe throughout the night. No obligations, no expectations, and no labels. He says it that way anyway. However, for Shakira, that evening turned into the start of something very real. At 2 a.m, somebody cried, "MM required a father, formula, and diapers." You see, Shakira had no intention of becoming a mother in a scandal. She says Scrappy made her feel important by reaching out and letting her into his world. She told a close source, "He told me he was done with the games, done with the industry women, and wanted something real." They all believed that the crazy night that followed would only be enjoyable. Until the test came back positive a few weeks later. Shakira says she messaged Scrappy directly after learning she was pregnant, without any drama or accusations, just the facts. "I told him it might be his. I wasn't on that messy vibe, but he ignored me for 3 days in a row." When he finally responded, he said, "That was a threesome, not my child." Shakira was shocked, hurt, and angry because, in addition to Scrappy denying her child, he was acting as though nothing had happened, as if he hadn't told her she was special before everything went down. The worst part was that he knew the baby looked exactly like him. His mother even called me and said that the baby had Scrappy's eyes. Suddenly, he doesn't know anything, Shakira said, while Scrappy was living as if nothing had happened. In the meantime, Shakira packed up and moved states, moved states at Scrappy's request. Thinking he was ready to step up for his child, and we received timestamps, locations, and even direct messages from a waiter who claimed that Scrappy was there sipping tequila with Britney, that paparazzi caught him out on dinner dates with Britney. The so-called realtor who's better known for selling bottles than she ever was for closing on homes. "For that man, I left everything behind," she stated. "I only asked for his presence, not money." However, after she got there, he was only visible on Britney's Instagram story. Shakira lost her temper at that point. She revealed everything when she went live. "I'm sick of keeping silent while he plays home with that bottle lady from Magic City." Then she delivered the big bomb on the stream. "You think you can play daddy and VIP while ignoring the child you made in a moment of grown-up decisions? Let's discuss it. That night wasn't just you and me, was it? Let's call it what it was, a threesome if you want to act completely different." That's the term you used. You're hiding behind that word now. Like it absolves you of accountability. Shakira acknowledged it. She claims to know who the father is, even though the baby may
We had
have
this
been
baby out
born
of a
during a
threesome.
three-person meeting.
It was not
I
like
am
a
aware
real
of who
threesome.
I was with when I was with them,
We had
and that
sex.
it was you.
You fat as good
Therefore,
ass.
don't try to act as though this is a mystery show. Scrappy, however, would not have it. He has been saying the same thing to everyone, according to people close. To him, I have no idea who else was with her in that room. It was a haze. I was energized. She had another person with her. It's not my fault. According to some, Scrappy's even attempted to persuade his inner circle that Shakira had tricked him by getting pregnant in order to get a bag. Here's the catch, though. Shakira hasn't requested payment. Not to mention no child support. Nothing. No legal pressure. A man caring for the youngster he assisted in bringing into the world. That's what she desired anyway. This is when things become even messier. Shakira was allegedly approached by Scrappy at a private meeting. It's too shattered. People in a parking lot, no cameras, no producers. Things were noisy at that point. An eyewitness said, "You act like I'm supposed to just believe you," Scrappy yelled. How come I would care for a child who might not even be mine? It wasn't even a typical circumstance. That was not in my plan. Shakira then gave a clap back. You? Also didn't intend for me to lose my dignity, my home, and my work. But I did as you asked. You promised things. You want to play confused now? Scrappy walked away after the argument, shaking his head. Okay. Leaving Shakira standing there with a baby on her hip and tears in her eyes. And now for the twist that nobody is prepared for. The third individual is the other man from that evening, and Shakira is aware of who he is. And based on her recent statements, it appears that she is prepared to mention him since she claims that if Scrappy doesn't step up, she'll turn to the one person who might. I was attempting to maintain harmony. I did not want to make a big deal out of this. However, perhaps it's time for the world to know who was actually present in that room. In that room, Shakira said those last words before her live performance came to a close. Since then, there has been a full-fledged online craze as people attempt to figure out who this mystery man might be. Speculation among fans began immediately. Was it a well-known person? Was it a member of the hip-hop and love cast? A rapper? Or, worse, Lil Scrappy's close friend? This isn't just about a baby anymore, let's face it. This story revolves around secrets, treachery, and a man who believed he could ignore the fallout from a night he believed no one would ever remember. Shakira, however, recalls everything, and she has been clinging to this enigmatic moniker as if it were a nuclear code, but she hasn't kept it for long. According to people close to Shakira, producers have been pressuring her to reveal names behind the scenes. According to one insider, she was even promised a bonus if she told the audience who the third man was during filming. However, so far, she has played it cleverly, creating tension, holding the audience's attention, and allowing Scrappy to spiral while she maintains her composure and logic. Scrappy is handling damage control in the interim. He has reportedly been blowing up Shakira's phone off camera while pleading with her to keep quiet. According to the source, he warned her that she was tripping and that telling the truth would damage not only his reputation, but also the life of another person. At that point, people began to question whether Scrappy could have known that the third person was someone. The rumors began to circulate. Other Love and Hip Hop cast members. Names were thrown forth by certain fans. Some claimed it was a security officer, a club owner, or even a producer who frequently approached too closely. Shakira, however, has not provided any confirmation. Not quite yet. She has attested to the fact that Scrappy invited her that evening, that he started the whole event, that instead of her, he brought the third person. Therefore, the claims that she brought someone else are untrue. He desired to take a risk. He persuaded me to do it, even though I wasn't
You feel what I'm
initially on
saying?
board.
Wow.
We had this baby out of a
He now wants to
threesome.
reconstruct
It was
the
not
entire
like a
evening
real
in order to
threesome.
avoid becoming
Whatever.
a father.
We had sex.
That's
You
not what we're doing.
Good ass.
And Scrappy
Yo,
is continuing to live her life
yo.
as if nothing had occurred, while Shakira is still fighting alone. He was seen with Brittany, the former bottle girl who is now a phony real estate agent, a few nights ago. He was wondering where his father was, and this time they were at a hookah lounge, holding hands, whispering, and laughing like he didn't have a baby on the other side of town. It's repulsive. Shakira is now at her breaking point. She has been silent, but she witnesses Scrappy playing dad to Britney every day and going out to clubs like a carefree man. The more she's prepared to reveal everything, she told a close friend, "I didn't seek drama. I'll give him something substantial to deal with, though, if he wants to act." Production is already getting ready for the explosion behind closed doors. Rumor has it that Shakira and Scrappy are scheduled to meet in person for an impending reunion tape. Furthermore, it's possible that more information will be disclosed than just the baby. This is where it becomes even more unsightly. According to a friend of Shakira's, the third individual, the second male in the threesome, has reportedly been attempting to avoid involvement but is aware that his name could be revealed. The twist is that he's not a random stranger. He's someone with whom Scrappy has collaborated. Yes, you heard correctly. The man who might perhaps be the father is from the industry, according to Shakira's camp. There was a Scrappy who called family, someone with years of experience who is familiar with Scrappy's routines, habits, and way of life. Furthermore, this isn't a maybe. According to Shakira, she is fully aware of who and when she had sex with. "I'm not good at confusing. I've matured, aware of who I slept with, and he is free to pretend that it is overcast. However, I gained clarity. This Lil Scrappy is now sitting there denying the baby. Shakira is standing on her tiptoes. Britney is clinging to her role as the clueless girlfriend. And one unidentified individual who is out there praying that his name doesn't appear on the timeline. Remember how Scrappy asked Shakira to relocate across state lines? She abandoned everything. His friends, family, a job, and a hustle, because he declared his desire to become a father. He told her we made something, and that's why he must raise it. He is now acting as though he is unaware of her name. However, the child is here, breathing, developing, waiting, and becoming more and more like a Scrappy every day. When real life shows up at the front door, these men act very normal, despite their passion for being wild behind closed doors. We were mature enough to go ahead, Shakira remarked. Therefore, be mature enough to take care of the consequences. The crazy part is that Scrappy is avoiding DNA testing by playing the "I don't need a test for a kid that ain't mine" game, which is why it hasn't even happened yet. But he's anxious behind the scenes. He's afraid. His companion acknowledged that he didn't want to know that fact. This isn't going away, even though he wants it to. Shakira claims that before she makes everything public, she is giving him one more chance to take the initiative in private. I will if he doesn't act morally. Hey, and everyone will know who the third person was when I do. Since I'm sick of keeping quiet for a man who refuses to accept his own ancestry. I will if he doesn't act morally. And everyone will know who the third person was when I do. Shakira drew the line in the sand with a sudden motion. She had stopped bluffing. False promises, neglected texts, and silent tears were all things of the past. Now, it was more than simply hurt feelings. This was about a child, a developing child who, although he was not yet able to speak, asked questions with his eyes. And since he had never shielded her, Shakira felt it was time to stop doing so. Insiders close to Shakira said that she had already prepared a public statement in case tiny Scrappy decided to keep vanishing. According to her pal, the only reason she hadn't dropped it yet was because she wanted to give him one final chance to
You're
man up.
okay,
However,
Dad.
she is
You
already
feel what I'm
aware that he will
saying?
not.
Wow.
We had this baby
Only
out of a
God can
threesome.
judge me,
It
and
was
I move
not like a
differently
real
when peace
threesome.
hits.
Okay, whatever.
Peace.
We had
Really?
sex.
While your son's
You
mother is dragging
this good
strollers up
ass
apartment stairs
Yo,
alone,
yo.
and the baby is waking up crying for a man who won't even say his name. Let's talk about that child. Shakira claims that Scrappy has been posting nightclub photos, thirst traps, and cryptic Instagram captions. He remembers Scrappy's voice from previous videos, she claims. Videos of Scrappy, grinning, holding Shakira's belly, and even whispering to the bump were shown to him by her. There was such a dude before reality set in and he changed his mind. The man desired the baby. At this time, among the most, Shakira stated she has evidence from that night, which is one of her most surprising movements to date. not just text. Messages, either she has security video. I take it you read that? As it happens, the Airbnb where they spent the night had cameras in the doorway and corridor. Fortunately, you can see exactly who entered and exited the bedroom that night, even though nothing was captured on camera there. That includes one additional person as well as Lil Scrappy Shakira. The man in the video is where it becomes very explosive. Two people who witnessed the video claim that he is a well-known Atlanta artist who is connected to Tiny Scrappy's group. He is more than a friend. He is someone with whom Scrappy has performed on stage. Thus, Scrappy was aware of its identity the entire time. But rather than acknowledging that, rather than stating, "All right, we made a mistake, let's work this out," he opted for flight, shame, and silence. Meanwhile, Shakira is getting a ton of offers. Blogs desire the story's exclusive rights. Producers of reality TV are circling. She even allegedly received direct messages from a certain podcast host who has a track record of doing popular interviews with newborn mamas. Shakira isn't pursuing influence, though. She claims she has no intention of destroying lives. All she wants is for her son to be honest with himself. It's okay if that man wishes to despise me indefinitely. However, my child will never grow up believing that he was a mistake or a secret. She stated, "Let's stop there, because this is no longer just a baby mama versus baby daddy feud. It's now a mess on an ethical, legal, and emotional level that Scrappy might have. Put an end to this peacefully with AHI still could, but the more he refuses, the louder the streets get. And now even Britney is feeling the heat. Yes, sis. Don't think we forgot about you? Britney, who has been holding on to her fantasy of being a bottle girl turned boss chick, has been putting on a brave front by posting filtered photos with captions like unbothered and glowing. But insiders say she's anything but. According to one source, after Shakira's last live performance, Britney confronted Scrappy, asking him if there was any truth to what Shakira was saying. He told her it was all lies, but now even she's beginning to doubt it because receipts don't lie, footage doesn't lie, babies don't lie, and babies don't lie, only men who flee. Ultimately, one of these men is the child's father, and that baby deserves more than silence, ego, and nightclub selfies. The twist is that people are now wondering if both Minis, Scrappy, and the mystery man are refusing to take the test because neither wants the responsibility. If that's the case, then we've got a child caught in a tug of war where neither side is stepping up. And guess who's losing? The baby. In light of this, Shakira has stated that she will take legal action if no one steps up in the coming week. She has already spoken to lawyers, she's done being nice, and she said, "If I have to serve papers, I will. I'm not going to raise this baby in confusion just because two grown men want to play dumb." Scrappy hasn't publicly responded yet, but rumors have it that he's worried about the other man's name being revealed because once that happens, the whole story changes. And it's not just Scrappy being reckless. It's now Scrappy lying to cover. For someone close,
You're
perhaps even someone famous,
that.
married,
you feel
or
what
both.
I'm saying?
Wow.
We had this baby out
Careers
of a
may
threesome.
change, friendships
It was
may
not
end,
like a real
and fans
threesome.
may become
Okay, whatever.
disenchanted.
We had sex. We
See their favorite
you
people in a
bet this
completely
good
different
ass
light.
Yo.
Great.
However, one thing is certain. Shakira is done hiding, begging, and being polite because she has been choosing truth over protection, exposure over shame, and her son over everything else while they have been out clubbing and ducking. Whether Scrappy likes it or not, whether the mystery man is ready or not, the truth is coming because this child didn't ask for drama. He didn't ask to be born into a scandal. And he just wants to know who his father is. Phew, this story is getting out of control, and we're still waiting for the DNA, the name drop, and someone to act like a grown-up. This isn't just drama. This is legacy uncut and baby. We don't miss a beat. See you in the next episode. Is Shakira telling the whole truth? And who is the mysterious third man in that bed that night? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. We're reading them all. Also, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, because we'll be the first to reveal the truth, uncut, uncensored, and unapologetic. Apologetic.